When astronauts first looked back on planet Earth from space, they were struck by its color. The Earth looks blue from space because most of its surface is covered by seawater. The oceans not only cover most of the area of the planet but also contain almost all of the water on Earth. Seawater covers 361 million square kilometers, which represents 71% of the surface of the globe. The total volume of water is enormous, 1.37 thousand million cubic kilometers. Most of this water is contained in the three great oceans of the world, the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Oceans. Such numbers are so large that they are difficult to conceptualize. One way of looking at this number is to consider a sphere the size of the Earth completely covered with water. The ocean water would then cover such a sphere to a uniform depth of almost 2,700 meters. That amount of water represents almost 93% of the total amount of water on the planet. Glacial and land ice make up a further 1.6% and groundwater 5%. Freshwater, in the form of rivers and lakes, the water that we as land animals require for our very existence, represents only 0.04% of the total amount of water on the planet. Even the largest lakes in the world, Lake Superior and Lake Baikal, are very small in area and particularly in volume compared with the world's oceans. This freshwater is derived entirely from evaporation from the surface of the oceans. Geographers divide the ocean into 5 major basins: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic and Southern. Small ocean regions such as Mediterranean Sea, Gulf of Mexico, and the Bay of Bengal are called seas, gulfs and bays. The deep ocean is nearly as rugged in its bathymetry as the terrain we see on land. There are high mountains, deep valleys and canyons, as well as areas of flatter plains, with hills of varying heights rising from the plains below. Indeed, the undersea mountains are in general longer, the valley floors wider and the canyons often deeper than the equivalent features on land. Life in the ocean depends on phytoplankton, mostly microscopic organisms that float at the surface and, through photosynthesis, produce about half of the world's oxygen. The oceans are home to millions of Earth's plants and animals, from tiny single-celled organisms to the gargantuan blue whale, the planet's largest living animal. Fish, octopuses, squid, eels, dolphins, and whales swim the open waters, while crabs, octopuses, starfish, oysters, and snails crawl and scoot along the ocean bottom. Despite regular discoveries about the ocean and its denizens, much remains unknown. More than 80% of the ocean is unmapped and unexplored, which leaves open the question of how many species there are yet to be discovered.